We talk about fairy tales in football, and the 1994-95 Blackburn Rovers team is a fairy tale story and then some. A club that a few years previously had been languishing in and around the bottom of the second division, invited into the Premier League in its formative years, and took the league and the country by storm. Backed by a local business owner, Jack Walker, who made his money in steel, he figured he wanted to put some of that steel out on the pitch at Ewood Park. He would invest in his boyhood club, he would invest in his local area, he would bring the most coveted prize in English football to Blackburn. I'm joined by Tez Ilyas, a very, very good friend of mine, comedian, actor, writer. You'll have seen him everywhere, lifelong Blackburn Rovers fan. And we sit down and we talk about that moment, how he felt to be able to say to the world that Blackburn Rovers were Premier League champions. And during the conversation, you absolutely get the fact that he feels it, and I hope you feel it too. So remember, this is obviously a reminiscing back from the times when football was mint. Tez Ilyas, welcome to Back When Football Was Mint, and I've got you here to talk about one very specific thing about 90s football, which I personally think is one of the great stories of 90s football. Blackburn Rovers, Premier League champions. How does that sound to hear, and what did it feel like to say?
I mean, now, 30 years later in 2025, it sounds ludicrous, borderline stupid, completely surreal. But at the time, it felt like, yeah, I'm 12 years old. All my mates around me are supporting Man United. They've got to win a couple of league titles in a row. Now it's my turn. That makes sense in the order of the universe. Next year, they might win it again. We might win it again the year after. Now we're in the Champions League. We'll give it a good go at that. Honestly, looking back now, I must have just taken it for granted. The naivety of youth. I think I would have celebrated even harder if I'd known that this was peak. This is the peak. You might get the odd cup run after this, but this is it.
Yeah, it's amazing because most football fans don't experience winning. Like, it's a bizarre thing, isn't it? Like, most football fans experience defeat. That's pretty much it. And there's only a handful of teams can win something. And when your team, with all due respect, isn't used to winning something, when you win the big thing, that's quite cool, isn't it?
It's almost like you don't quite know what to do. You're like, what? I don't know what to do. It's like if you win the lottery, right? You'd be like, I don't know what to do. What am I supposed to do? There's no handbook.
No.
There's no precedent for this. Like, yay! Like, it's mad. It's crazy.
Like demanding a recount, just going, are you sure? Because if this is on you, if you say we've won it, we will definitely run with it, but you can have another recount, you can take it away, just do it quickly.
Right. I mean, we even tried our best. We lost the last game of the season. We're like, we probably shouldn't win this. Like, Jamie Redknapp, why don't you stick one in top bins and then the normal order will resume? But no, we got away with it, and it's just incredible.
Because there is like some really like iconic moments that lead up to that, and we'll talk about, of course, that final day where, as you say, you're almost like going, we shouldn't win this, like we should just lose because like we've had our fun, right, and it's been silly, okay, but like we know we're not meant to win this, right? So let's wind it all the way back, okay, right now. We mentioned Blackburn Rovers in 2025, Premier League champions, feels alien, okay? Even at the start of the 90s, the idea of Blackburn Rovers being First Division champions or even a First Division side was weird to consider, wasn't it?
Yeah, because we've been in the doldrums a little bit. We bounced out of the old Division 1 a couple of decades ago. And yeah, I think we'd even gone Division 2 at one point, and we were in Division 1 just lounging around. Just, kind of what we're doing now, a little bit, to be honest. Which is like kind of up and down between anywhere between, like, 7th and 17th, just bouncing around between those positions. And then our greatest ever supporter, Jack Walker, stepped in with his steel-cased checkbook and the rest is history. He just completely transformed our fortunes and probably our town. It's not too much to say, I think.
Yeah, and I think that is definitely worth adding into that, because he did completely revolutionise football at the time. I mean, the Premier League was revolutionising how English football worked anyway. And people will obviously have their views as to what the Premier League was, whether it was a good idea. Even in the 90s, people were sort of questioning it, going like, oh, is this the fall of British football as we know it? Like,
game's gone. Game's gone.
Game's gone. We didn't even have that phrase back then, but we knew what it meant. Everything was all shiny and new, and then this money that we'd never seen arrive into the game. And as you say, Jack Walker not just pumping it into the football club, but into his town and city as well, and basically sort of being the original urban developer, I suppose, wasn't he? Just going, right, let's put a smile on everyone's face at once.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's happened in our league before or since where a hometown hero has come in, pumped millions into the club, and it's worked out so spectacularly well. At least in the short to medium term, it did. And it was just incredible. I mean, he made a ton of money in steel, I think it was. Up sticks to Jersey, as you do when you've got a lot of money, but never forgot where he grew up from. And then at some point, I think he just thought, you know what, I've made so much money, I need somewhere to spend it. I've got more money than I'm ever going to know what to do with. And he went, yeah, Blackburn Rovers, let's put some money in, let's get you back into the first division, as it was. And then we were fortunate enough that the season we got promoted, it became the Premier League. And so we became not only founders of the Premier League, but we were founders of the Old Football League in 1888. Yes. So whenever there's something historic in English football, Blackburn are there, just going, we'll step in here, thank you very much. So I joke, like when they create this new European Super League, they're going to knock on Blackburn's door going, you should probably be in this. And we'll be like, yeah, that makes sense.
I think that's why it didn't get the go-ahead early on. Because Blackburn were going, well, look, we're busy mid-table of the Championship. Give us a few years.
Yeah, give us 2044, we'll be in.
Yeah, just on the phone to Real Madrid, go, not yet, lads. Not yet.
Yeah, come on.
Just a couple of years. Just going to iron a few things out, make it not look sus. But then we'll be there. But you're right. I mean, Blackburn Rovers, founders of the Football League again. So, I mean, we can debate many hours and days and weeks and months as to who deserves money in football and where does the money come from. But a club that is an originator of the Football League, you feel found a member, there's a history there. You say they're a local businessman able to put back into his local team. That doesn't happen very often anymore now. Investment comes from all over the globe. So yeah, just that opportunity to go, right, here's some money, spend it well, because again, football is littered with here's a lot of money, spend it how you want, and then all of a sudden there's no football, right? So talk me through it then. Talk me through it. Jack Walker turns up, right? You're in the old second division as it was at that point. There's talk of this Premier League, this new shiny league. Like, do you remember the Premier League being formed? And do you remember how you felt about it? Like, what was your abiding thoughts of it as a youngster?
So I don't. I have no memory. So I grew up with a single mum, right? So my parents got divorced when I was a baby. I don't have any memory of them together. So I grew up with my mum and my sister and me. Might not be surprised to know, but neither of those two young Pakistani women were into football back in the early 90s. So I don't really have any memory of football as a kid. I remember the 1990 World Cup vaguely, obviously because it was such a cultural event. Then I remember Man United winning the old Leeds winning the old Division 2 in 1992. That was the last, but I didn't realise that was the last old Division 1, and we were then transitioning into the Premier League because there's no internet. It wasn't as ubiquitous as it is now, and I don't think our TV had teletext either, so I couldn't keep up to date with everything all the time. And so I remember going into assembly on the first week of September, and Mr. Woods, he was our no relation to Chris Wood, probably not, maybe could be Chris Wood's granddad. We don't know, neither confirmed or denied. At this point.
Rumours started.
Rumours have started, yeah. So Mr. Woods was our headmaster, and he was a big Blackburn Rovers fan. And he came in and talking about how Blackburn Rovers had been promoted to the Premier League, the top division. And at that point, I didn't realise Blackburn had a team. I think I was kind of flirting between who am I supporting? Am I supporting Man United? Am I supporting Leeds? Am I supporting Liverpool? I think even Sheffield Wednesday at one point cropped up in my brain. Don't know why. Must have been the old blue and white in the subliminal.
Successful as well back then.
Yeah, they were. They're a big team. And so I was just ignoring about who to support as an 8-9 year old kid. And then Mr. Woods came in and told us about Blackburn Rovers. I was like, hang on, I'm looking around going, how come no one's brought this up? How come no one has told me that this place has a football club? That's my team. My team is Blackburn Rovers. And so from then, September 1992, I became an avid Blackburn Rovers supporter. And it was a good decision for about six years. A great short-term decision.
Yeah, I like that. Like, what do you mean we're good? Like,
Yeah.
I've only just found out we.
I'm looking around at everyone going, did you know this? Like, did you, like there's the kids in my class going, did the rest of you, have you all kept this from me? Like, it's a prank.
Like a brilliant secret. Just like,
Yeah.
Just like pulled a curtain over Ewood Park. Or just don't tell Tez there's a football team here.
Ta-da! And the mad thing is, like, from where I live, we live up in the hills. It's developed, it's civilized. But like at the northern part of the town, like it's a big hill. You can see Ewood Park from where we live. And like, how did I not know that was our football ground? Silly. Anyway, so I got massively into Blackburn Rovers. But I think our story about getting into the Premier League was interesting. Because obviously Jack Walker came in a couple of years before that, didn't get promoted, and then just went for hell and leather 91-92 season. Signed a load of players. Obviously Kenny Dalglish came in. And it all kind of just about melded together, and we got sixth by the skin of our teeth, and then we got promoted. And that doesn't often happen. The sixth place team doesn't often get promoted. It's rare. But I think that's also the case. It's also the case where sometimes the team with momentum going into the playoffs does like Sunderland this year. Like yes, Sheffield United just dropped off, and Sunderland suddenly had the momentum going in and got themselves promoted. And so we managed to get that momentum. We had David Speedy, a couple of other good players. And yeah, we found ourselves in the Premier League. And then that summer, just the checkbook opened and Mr. Shearer came in, Colin Hendry came back, Tim Sherwood came in. I think Tim Flowers might have come in that summer. Yeah. So yeah, I think the backbone of that side kind of came in that summer. And then we just took the league by storm and ended up, I think we were like competing for a while, but then we ended up finishing fourth in the 92-93 season. And then there were high hopes going into the 93-94 season, a couple more signings. And then that season we were playing really well. And then I think Shearer got injured. And then we lost a bit of momentum. And then he came back towards the end of the season and fired us up to second place. So again, we were like, okay, well, we're there or thereabouts. Then 94-95, we were like, okay. Right, we've had fourth finish, second finish. We're only going one way.
Yeah.
There's only one more hurdle to get over. And we were like, can we do it? Can plucky Blackburn Rovers get over the line?
Do you know what? I'm loving just reminiscing about this as well, because I remember, again, like yourself, watching all this happen in real time. And again, maybe these are going to be older viewers watching this. It's not going to be youngsters watching this going like, oh, look, listen to two old fuddy-duddies talking about old football. Like, it wasn't oversaturated. Football wasn't on TV 24/7. Like, the games were on a Sunday, you know. Then there was the Monday fixture, which again Sky made a big deal about. And we were all going, you can't play football on a Monday. That's a work day. Don't possibly think about that. And now it's like we're playing football during your lunch break, and it's like, you know, it's being like 80,000 people in the stadium or whatever. So I remember the Premier League being formed, and I remember thinking at the time it was weird, because my parents were sort of like going through a divorce at the time the Premier League had started. And I don't believe it was anything to do with the Premier League.
You sure?
I don't know. I haven't got the facts. I mean, I could suspect.
Again, they fell out over it. One was an old diehard Division 1 fan, and one was ushering a new era, and they just couldn't reconcile those differences.
It was Football League or nothing. And I was like, you know what, I respect that. No. And then the other one was like, no, we need to start this breakaway league. And I'm like, no, not for me. But I remember it being talked about, and I remember, you know, the games are then, you can't watch the games because it's going to be on Sky. And I was like, even at 11, I'm like, that feels weird. Doesn't feel right. But then someone went, hey, there's a new sticker book. And I was like, that's cool. Look at this.
Yeah, the rise of Panini.
I'm like, I love the Premier League. There's like these are shiny stickers.
Shinies.
Oh, we didn't
Oh my
have that
God.
before. And all of a sudden I was bought in, and then they had a catchy song, and I was like, oh, hello.
Shoot magazine, Match magazine, all those things. Oh,
Yeah, I'd already gone through that World Cup 1990 binder. Do you remember that when they had that like thing? And I collected that and spent a fortune on that. And I was like, right, okay, let's see what this Premier League's made of, shall we? And looking at it, and they were talking about there's going to be like this influx of money, and I don't think anybody predicted the influx of money and how successful it was going to become. So when Blackburn turned up, and you're spending what's this, £3 million on a striker, and everyone's going, what? They bought a country.
Unproven as well.
Unproven. Yeah,
The bags of
yeah.
potential, but largely unproven. Like 21st division goals or something he had before he came to us.
Like, I don't know I think someone's probably done it somewhere that like adjusted things for inflation. But the idea of like Alan Shearer, as you say, unproven top level striker coming from Southampton,
Southampton, yeah.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
And I remember watching the first match of the day in the Premier League with Shearer in it, and he scored a hat-trick, didn't he, against Crystal Palace?
Yeah. It's good goals as well. Some nice goals.
Really good goals. And going, oh, that's what £3 million gets you. Okay, that's...
Could you imagine the pressure he
easy
must
business.
have felt? The pressure he must have felt as well. Like breaking the British transfer record. All eyes on him, first season, playing for a kind of a unfancied club as well.
Yeah.
He must have been going, right, all eyes on me. I'm gonna be England's number one striker for the next 10 years. Watch this. Bang, bang, bang.
Yeah, and he did. He just went, do you want me to score more goals? Fine, I'll score more. Right, just you keep putting them in, I'll score more. And yeah, so he turns up, does absolutely fantastic. You're saying there about Tim Flowers rocking up again, like this, like who becomes a really good, solid England level goalkeeper, international level goalkeeper.
Yeah, he didn't play a lot because of David Seaman, but he was there or thereabouts.
Yeah,
I think there wasn't as much rotation back then. I think now, if he was number two, he'd play a lot more, but it just wasn't a thing then.
Yeah,
I think back then, if he dropped a starting 11 in England, it was a big deal. Like, it was like, oh, he's been dropped. Whereas now we use words like rested.
Yeah, rotated.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Oh, he's a rotation option. To me, that's a substitute. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's not playing. Back in the day as well, when you only had, was it 3 subs, I think? 3 subs. It didn't have to be a goalkeeper either.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you weren't getting your place, you weren't getting your place. So Tim Flowers comes in. You mentioned Colin Hendry as well, who, Blackburn icon. And then a young Tim Sherwood starts rocking around.
Yeah. It's weird because I look at that team and I'm like, well, on paper, obviously there's Shearer, fine. But the rest of the team on paper, none of them are particularly world beaters. Good players. Very good players. But obviously Kendall Gleesh must have been working some magic in that in on the training ground and in the dressing room, because they just came together really, really well. The team had great chemistry. Obviously, we played very old-fashioned 2 wingers. Probably not a lot of passing at the back. Get the ball up to the wingers. They run in behind, cross the ball in. Someone's getting on the end of it, or someone's getting the second ball after defenders got it. It wasn't like it's not Guardiola. It's not tiki taka, but it was a very effective back for its time.
But I think a lot of people were playing that as well. That sort of 4-4-2 direct, almost counter-attacking style as well. Soaking a bit of pressure, get the ball out to the wings. Get Jason Wilcox bombing down on the left. Get who was down the right?
Stuart Ripley.
Stuart Ripley, wasn't it? Yeah,
Yes.
Get him down the right wing. Wilcox down the left wing. And yeah, that's kind of how football was back in the day, wasn't it? And then you didn't have the influx as well of foreign talent, so it was predominantly a British core as well.
We were a very British side. I'm trying to think who we had. So we had Mark Atkins, Tim Sherwood in the middle of the park. We had David Batty as well, but he was injured, largely injured in the championship winning season. Then at the back we had Colin Hendry, Graham Lassau at left back. He's about as foreign as it got because he was from the Channel Islands, so he was pretty foreign. And then Henning Berg was our one But he's Scandinavian, isn't he? So that's almost British.
Exactly.
About as Northern Europe as you can get. And then I think it was Ian Pearce with Colin Hendry at the back, and then Tim Flowers. So it was a very, very British side.
Yeah. And again, I think it was like, there wasn't a foreign player rule at the time, was there? In that there was in Italy.
There was There was in the Champions League as well.
The Champions League.
There was in the Champions
yes.
League, but I'm not sure at home if there was.
I don't think we'd been able to sell the league abroad at that point, really, either. Sort of like, especially not to the levels that it is now, where like you're bringing the greatest players in the world over. I think.
But I think also it was the first season we were back in the Champions League after the European ban.
And when the Champions League was
92, that is, yeah.
When the Champions League was just for champions as well.
Yes. Yeah. Because otherwise we would have had a couple of seasons in the Champions League. Mm-hmm. Finishing second and fourth, but
I explained this to someone on stream the other day, and I was like, the Champions League used to just be champions, you know, and they went, what? And I was like, no, seriously. And then I blew his mind by saying that Vinnie Jones was a footballer. He went, the actor. I went, dear, you've got a lot to learn.
And then the UEFA Cup was like basically almost like the Champions League, because then you had 2-3 teams from each league in the UEFA Cup, or maybe 3. So I remember, like, in hindsight now, I think, well, people who won the UEFA Cup back in the day, that was actually a bigger trophy than what the Europa League is now.
Yeah, and even then, your Cup Winners' Cup, you know, the final of the Cup Winners' Cup was like, it was Barcelona versus Lazio, wasn't it? Like, what a tournament the Cup Winners' Cup was.
Yeah, I think Barcelona was United at some point.
Yeah.
The Mark Hughes final, I think, was a Cup Winners' Cup final.
Yes, I think it was.
Yeah, Cup Winners' Cup, that's a great trophy, but it's also a great concept. Like, the winner of each national trophy gets to play in Europe. That's a great concept.
Yeah.
I think the Conference League should go back to that. I think the Conference League should be reserved for national cup winners.
I think so, and I think it would be brilliant. Like, it would be so much fun, because otherwise you've then got this thing where, and apologies for talking about modern football now, because we know it's nonsense, and this is why we're saying it's nonsense, because you've now
absolute woke nonsense.
Yeah, you got the Champions League. Oh, who's in it? Oh, the top 7 teams. What in a Champions League? Yeah, just loads. Like, especially
half of the Premier League is in it.
Yeah, and that's just for one league, right? Oh no. Most nations have got half a dozen in it, right? So it's not any champions at all. Not really. No. If you can spell champions, you're allowed in.
Yeah, it's the wealth league, isn't it?
Yeah. Exactly.
Which leagues make the most money? Let's get as many of those teams in.
Yeah. The Latvian champions, no, they've got to do 19 qualifiers before this is the Champions League, not the.
Yeah, if you look at the history of who won the old European Cup, the Champions League predecessor, it's like Stoya Bucharest and names like that. You're like, but they're not winning it anytime soon now.
No, they've got to buy tickets for their own match. Like, they're not even allowed to compete. They're like, can we come in? And it's like, you can go and watch a game. We're not entirely sure if we want you to compete, because you might ruin it for everybody. So
what if you win? God. Oh
God, could you imagine? Could you imagine if an unfancied team won the Champions League? Like, I think there was almost a riot when Porto did well, didn't it? Wasn't it?
I think the last time was Porto, and that madly, because we're showing our age, that was 21 years ago for us, which seems like because it didn't seem, because that was the Jose Mourinho thing, right?
Yeah.
The birth of Jose Mourinho. It's like, that can't be 21 years ago. It fucking was.
I know, it doesn't make any sense, does it?
Did you think about football? You know, in the 90s when you were watching football, did you think about 17th? When people bring up like football from the 70s or 80s, would you look at that as something like, when in the 90s when I was watching football, if someone brought up football from the 70s or 80s, it was completely irrelevant to me.
Yeah.
It was like dinosaur era. Like, what? That is completely. I don't care. Like, Liverpool fans would be like, "Oh yeah, but we won like six whatever in the 80s." I'd be like, "That's nothing to do with me." But that's just like last decade.
Yeah.
That's like Real Madrid's three-peat. And like, that was recent. Yeah, fair enough. That was recent. But for me as a kid, I was like, yeah, that's too long ago. That.
Is it because of the fact we've lived through it? So we've got relevance, we've got context.
Completely.
And even then, like, if we are, and I guess the older we get, the more life we've led, so therefore everything just compresses into one. And when you're 11 and you're thinking about the 70s, you're like, leave it out, Grandad.
Yeah.
There's no way that was a thing. And whereas, of course, now we're like, Are you trying to tell me that the year 2000 was 25 years ago? Because I'm pretty sure I've still got the trainers I was wearing. Like, that's not a thing.
Like for an 8-year-old kid now, so an 8-year-old kid would be born in 2017, right? So it's getting into football like we were back when we were kids, right?
Yeah.
For them, Messi and Ronaldo are like George Best and Maradona for when we were growing up. And we were like, oh, the old good players. The good players from back in the day.
Yeah.
Mad.
Yeah. Like, that's the thing. Like, yeah, my kids are 7 and 5. And, like, my 7-year-old knows Messi. But that's the end of Messi's career. That's, like, literally, like, sort of the final, like, sort of, if you were to be us, just, like, having that last year of, like, a football legend who's just, like, going out, like, they can't hack it.
Maradona's 94 World Cup.
Yeah. So, yeah, and then just trying to go, I'm sure he was good, but
he
does look like a coked up mess. Like, everyone says he was great. Don't really get it myself, but well, we saw it.
I guess they're lucky now because they have all the footage in HD, which we didn't have of my dad's legends.
Yeah, I think I had to go look at artists' impressions of the 70s, just like this is what it would have looked like. Yeah. So let's go back then. Let's go back into this world and this Blackburn whirlwind season, right? So you've got yourself promoted out of Division 2 finally. You miss the first division because it doesn't exist anymore. You're straight into the Premier League. You've been fourth. You've been second. The pressure and the expectation on, as you say, I'll use the words and I'll put it in little plucky Blackburn Rovers, right? Up there, in second place, battling the Man Uniteds, battling the Arsenals, battling the Liverpools, battling Leeds were still
Villa
falling at that point. Villa, Norwich, finished third.
Yeah.
This is like a really bizarre time. It feels like a massive shift, really, in where football's going to be. And as you say, your initial thought was, oh, it's our turn for a little go. This will be cool. Like, I don't know how you describe it, really.
It was a strange time because we had the best English player in, well, Gaza maybe, but at least one of the two best English players in playing for us, Alan Shearer. It didn't look like he was going anywhere, so we had him. Then we bought Chris Sutton, broke the British transfer record again. Yeah. He turned out to be a very handy player for us. We had David Batty come in, albeit he got injured, but we didn't know at the time. Then we had Graham Lasso, Henning Berg. We had a really good team. I think man for man, we weren't better than Man United. We definitely weren't better than Man United because they had Giggs and Paul Ince and Mark Hughes, Eric Cantona. But we had Shearer though. I think Shearer you could put up against anyone. But the rest of the team, Schmeichel, Steve Bruce, Gary Pallister, Dennis Irwin, best left back in the league. Paul Parker at right back. Like they were man for man, definitely a better team than us. Probably 9 or 10 out of 11 players, definitely. But we just clicked. We just. I think we didn't have the distraction of Europe. I think we did have the UEFA Cup, and we lost to Trelleborg, a part-time side from Norway, in the first round.
Yeah, and this is
our cup record in that era was horrendous. We got knocked out in the first round of every single European. Every year we're in Europe, we got knocked out in the first round. And that Kenny Dalglish, like 3-time European Cup champion, like you think he'd know better. And then in the FA Cup and the old Coca-Cola Cup, League Cup, Worthington Cup, Carling Cup, whatever you want to call it, Carabao as it is now. Like we didn't do anything. We didn't uproot any trees in any of those competitions. So we were very much a league team. Where I think United possibly. And a good job for us as well. Probably had their eye on other trophies. Obviously, they had the Champions League. They had, they always wanted. I think that season they got to the FA Cup final as well. They lost to Everton in the FA Cup final. And I think the Coca-Cola Cup was the one where they rested their players, which was also controversial at the time. So I think we benefited from just concentrating on those 42 league games and getting the best out of every single individual and just make sure the team chemistry was as good as it can be. And I think most of that starting 11 played almost every minute of every game.
Yeah, and that is a good point actually, and it's a good point that you just focused on just winning the league. Like, and I'm guessing now maybe fans want a cup run. They'd love to get their hands on a trophy, whereas like it was back in the day, it was you win the title, you get into the Champions League. You've then made a really great point. 42 matches you had to play to win the league as well. Not like this namby-pamby, was it 36, 38 game season?
yeah.
You've got bloody part-timers these days, aren't they? You know?
They play 34 abroad in some leagues, like Germany and France.
Yeah, they're on the beach just with their feet up going, oh, just whenever you're ready, England, just get yourself. Yeah, 42 league games, that was brutal. You know, on pitches that, you know, they weren't 4 and 5G. I mean, I think QPR had a plastic pitch. That was something that people had to play on and go like, ooh, goalkeepers have got to wear like leggings to play on that pitch. But I'm just looking like through the fixture list now, and it's just victory, 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 victory. Like, just utter dominance from Blackburn that season. Apart from the end of the season when it's like win the league.
Yes. So we were so lucky that we had a great start and middle of the season. We didn't do what Leicester did, which was just be consistent throughout the season. We came out of the blocks, vroom. We started the season as we ended the previous season, just vroom, straight out of the blocks, boom, 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 boom. Then we kind of started bottling it a little bit. Round about March, April time, I don't know whether we kind of took eye off the ball, we were like, we've got this sewn up, or Man United got their act together, because obviously they've had the experience of these things, and they started going on a little run, and suddenly they started catching us up. We started sort of bottling it a little bit more, where we would win games we drew, where we drew games we started losing, which didn't happen in the first 2/3 of the season, and suddenly we're looking over our shoulder, and Man United just slowly catching up, but you think, no, we still got this. And then come like the last 5 games, we're like, oh shit. And there's one game in particular I remember, which is against Newcastle at Ewood Park. Probably the most pivotal game of the season, because United were really putting pressure on us at that point, and we needed to win that game. And I think we went. I think Shearer scored. I'm right in saying,
Shearer,
but we went 1-0 up, and then Newcastle just bombarded us, just hammered us. And Tim Flowers probably had the game of his season in that game. There were some incredible saves. There was one in particular where it was like point blank, and he just basically dived onto it with his right hand, like almost like a snap dive to the bottom corner. Absolutely brilliant. And we just hung on for 1-0. And it was almost like that Kevin Keegan moment, like, oh, I fucking love it if we beat these. I'd love it. And it was like that was the game where we kind of had belief that we can do this. But even then, we left it. We did bottle it. We lost the last game of the season, and if United had got another goal at Upton Park, we would have lost the league.
Yeah.
So we were lucky that West. We kind of spoiled it a bit there, but going into the last game of the season, we're 1 point ahead. No, we're 2 points ahead.
2.
And it's like, yeah, and I think if we drew, United's goal difference was better than ours. So if we drew and they'd won, we'd still have lost the league on goal difference. So it was like we needed to get the win, and it's Anfield, it's Liverpool away. And I remember the build up to that game all week, like me and my mates were like, well, Liverpool hate Man United. Of course they're gonna let Rovers win. It's the Kenny Dalglish connection. They're not gonna want United to win the league 3 times in a row. As if, of course, they're just gonna, they'll let Rovers win, it'll be fine. And then that's kind of in my head going, yeah, that makes sense. That kind of makes sense. Yeah, I get that. I get why they do that. They got nothing to play for. So we go 1-0 up. I'll be like, oh, cool, good. Shearer scored. All is well in the world. 34 goals, broken the Premier League record. Brilliant. I think he equalled the Premier League record, which is him and Andy Cole. Yeah, he equalled the Premier League record. Brilliant. All good. And then, Liverpool equalise. And I'm like, okay, what's going on at Upton Park? United have gone 1-0 up, West Ham equalise. I'm like, okay, as it stands, we're still 2 points ahead. Nothing has changed. Okay, but if United score, we're going to lose the league on goal difference. Like, a 42 game season on goal difference. That doesn't seem fair. Also, when you're the underdog, you feel like, well, just let us have it then.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I remember when Real Madrid
should be irrelevant.
Yeah.
We're not going to do it again.
Do you know who we are?
Yeah.
We got 100,000 people live in this town. We're a small place. We're a hamlet. I remember when Atletico Madrid lost the second Champions League final to Real Madrid 9 years ago. So they lost in 2014. when Sergio Ramos scored an equaliser in the 94th minute. And then they lose in 2016 on penalties. And I just remember, I'm a believer, I believe in God. I remember just looking up, just going, why? Like, it's not fair. Like, Real Madrid are this big behemoth who always get the 50-50s, refereeing decisions and everything, right? Plucky Atletico Madrid are a massive team, but tiny in comparison to Real Madrid. They're the city rivals. Real Madrid have already won 10 Champions League. Give them one!
Yeah. Like, let them have a go. Come on. Like, if you're designing all this, you meant for that to happen.
Yeah, let them have one. And they deserve it. They were the better team over the course of the game. Even the one that they lost in 2014 when Sergio Ramos scored the equal. Anyway, the point is, I was like, well, we're the underdogs. We deserve this. And then Ludovic McCloskey, the West Ham keeper, also then played the game of his life.
He has had the game of his, and then
game
some.
Of his life. United hammered on that door. Bang, 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 bang. And Andy Cole, I don't know how many chances Andy Cole missed in the second half of that game. But West Ham hung on for no reason. West Ham had no skin in the game. Other than bit of pride and stopping Man United winning 3 leagues in a row. But they just kind of stood up to them and didn't let them win. And then Jamie Redknapp curled in a free kick in the top bins in the 93rd minute, and we ended up going 2-1 down. And I'm watching this on teletext, Tony.
Yeah.
All this is unfolding on teletext for me because we can't afford Sky. So I'm watching it with my cousins, 2 United fans, and the 2 of us are Rovers fans. I've been watching it as the pages go. Jamie Redknapp scores 2-1. The page changes, and I'm like, fucking hell, we've lost. I can't believe it. We've lost. And then someone's like, no. United still have to score. So I'm like, oh shit, yeah. Changes back. Full time. Rovers have lost. And then we're going, right, come on, please, West Ham hold on. And when that West Ham game changed to FT in the corner, oh, sweet Mary, Mother of Jesus, what a time to be alive. Straight out the house, jumping up and down the street, we did it, champions of England, just cars going up and down the road, horns, beep, 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 beep. Incredible. Absolutely incredible.
You can't bottle that feeling. You could, like, if you would want to bottle it and like relive it every single day, I'd imagine if you could, you would grab that right there and then, wouldn't you?
The only thing is like, it happened too young for me. Like, I remember it and appreciated it, but I was too young to appreciate what it meant. If that happened to me, when Leicester won it in 2016, if Rose had won it that year instead, and I'm 33 years old, you better believe, wow, that would the party would have been insane. Plus, also I'm 12, where am I going to go? I'm not allowed to go out to party. I'm just more celebrating outside my house or in my house. I don't even remember there being a bus parade. I don't think it was as big of a thing back then. Or if there was one, I don't remember anyone telling me about it. I probably wasn't allowed to go to it. But it was just, it was incredible. But I just wish it happened to me a few years later. Or I just wish I was a few years older when it happened. But nevertheless, like, it happened and I remember it. And no one can take that away from me.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, they didn't even tell you there's a football team. They're not going to mention there's a parade. It's just like, traffic's busy in town today, isn't it?
The one notice board in town, they were like, just don't let Tez see this. Keep this away from Tez.
Yeah, just you're in the house just going, Mum, are we off to the Civic Centre today? Oh, no, not today, Tez. No. I know we always go to the Civic Centre on a Monday, but not today. No. I can't think why, but definitely not today. Don't ask any more questions. Like, oh, man, because I'm looking at this title run-in, and 3 defeats in your last 5.
I know.
Defeats to Man City, who were crap back then as well.
Yeah, they were. This ain't the City of now.
Man City were shit, and you've lost to them at home as well.
And that's a relegation team.
Yeah, then you beat Crystal Palace. You lose to West Ham 2-0 away from home.
Wow. So the orders, actually. When we walked off, we knew they were playing United in 3 games' time. We were like, listen, you better fucking turn up against them as well.
Yeah, don't go beating us.
And then lose it to them. Yeah.
Yeah. Then, of course, there's the Newcastle match, and then you lose away to Liverpool. I mean...
So the Newcastle match was the penultimate match of the season?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. That was the win.
That was huge.
I
thought that was a few more games.
Oh, so
wow.
massive.
I didn't realise it was a penultimate game. That's mad.
Yeah. Yeah, it literally came down to that Newcastle game is what won you the title.
Yeah.
Because then losing the final match of the season against Liverpool, that's the one where it's like, you draw against Newcastle, you don't win. Looking here, played 42, won 27, drew 8. Man United drew 10, including, of course, West Ham on the final day of the season. Lost 7. Man United lost 6. You scored 80 goals. Do it on goals scored. You'd have won the league on goals scored. That would be fair.
Yeah.
But the goal difference, you had plus 41, they had plus 49.
Yeah.
So that would have been that thing. Yeah. They conceded 28 goals, you conceded 39. So unbelievable to go to the final day of the season. And again, younger viewers, sometimes titles go to the last day, and that's what makes it fun. Winning the league in March is boring.
Yeah.
Rubbish.
Yeah.
Nothing to play for. Yeah. And look at Tez's face. Do you know what I mean? Remembering all this. This is wonderful. You need this. So there you go. You've got the Premier League lifted up above your head. Blackburn Rovers, champions of England, off into the sunset, the Champions League, and let's not talk about what happens next, shall we? Really, because from then on it's slim pickings.
I would love to live in the alternative universe where we built the dynasty that we were threatening, because there were talks of, I think Zidane was basically coming until Jack Walker vetoed it. He was coming with Christophe Dugarry. In '98, we had Sven-Goran Eriksson signed and sealed.
Yeah.
And he was going to come with, who was the Mancini. So he was coming with Mancini, one of the best strikers in Europe. So we had, I think we had Shea Given on the books, and we let him go to Newcastle. It would have been the ideal Tim Flowers replacement. There was, I think we had John Carew on the books as well at one point, and we let him go, and he ended up at Chelsea and doing decent things at Chelsea.
Zlatan, Lewandowski.
Oh, there were players linked to us there where we could have built something very special and interesting. And I'm not really sure where it went on, because the following season we've kind of got knocked out in the group phase of the Champions League, not really doing anything particularly good, apart from the Mike Newell first half hat-trick, which was very special, against Spartak Moscow at home, but we'd already knocked out by then. And then we kind of finished, I don't know, top 5, 6 in the league or something like that. So we didn't really threaten to retain our title. And then the following season, Kenny Dalglish left.
Yeah.
And then Alan Shearer left, and then that was the beginning of the end, really.
And I think that's probably it, isn't it? Like, I think you mentioned there about not having players for player against Man United. I think Kenny Dalglish in charge at that point. And again, people will probably now come at me for this. Kenny Dalglish's managerial career is not reflective of Kenny Dalglish's career as a player.
Yeah. And also, that us winning the league was a blip.
Yeah.
In his overall management career.
Yeah, it was a blip, but to get someone of that pedigree of footballing knowledge and pull and draw, it just was the right person at the right club at the right time. And then, as you say, once he went, how do you then replace him? And losing Shearer for, again, what was a world record fee at the time, I think it was 15 million quid. It was always British.
Definitely a British record, yeah. Because the Spanish and Italians were doing something very silly in Europe as well. Let's not forget that. I think Christian Vieri went to somewhere for like 30 million, round about that time.
Yeah, and then Zidane was like 50 million. Everyone went,
yeah.
Oh, wow.
I think Inter Milan was spending a lot of money back then. I think Inter Milan might have paid 30 million for Christian Vieri. Something like that happened.
Yeah, and that's obviously when Newcastle were trying to threaten to be the new Blackburn Rovers, which again is a sentence that hasn't been said before, and has probably never been said ever since.
Yeah, so again, it's a shame. It's a shame that Newcastle never won it back then, because you're like, well, they didn't get close since, and it could have happened in the next 10 years. Who knows the way football is going at the moment? But yeah, it's a shame they never got that. They never got it over the line that season. The infamous Kevin Keegan. Yeah, we did. We did it for the plucky underdogs.
Yeah, there you go. We live to remember. That's the thing, isn't it? Right. I don't think we can. I mean, we could spend hours on this, going back through every single match, every single player, every single abiding memory. But I think, just as a quick takeaway, we'll wrap it up because I'm so conscious of time. But who was your favourite player from that era?
I mean,
what
it's a
was your
cliche.
favourite memory?
Cliche, but Alan Shearer. It had to be. And I think what people don't remember is Alan Shearer had 2 almost career-ending knee injuries. One at Blackburn, and then a more serious one at Newcastle a little bit later. And he came back from the Blackburn one still pretty strong. Then after the second one at Newcastle, he had to kind of remodel his game after that.
Yeah.
And what people don't remember about Alan Shearer was he was actually a terrific footballer.
Yeah.
His hold-up play was amazing. He was really press resistant. He was great on the wing. He could cross a ball.
He was
fast. He could beat one man. You know, he can't dribble through. He can't slalom, but he could beat a man, and he could shoot from anywhere. Slightly younger viewers might remember Kevin Phillips. Imagine Kevin Phillips, but for 10 seasons.
Yeah.
He was brilliant, absolutely brilliant, and he assisted a lot as well. Back in the day when people didn't really measure assists as they do now. Yeah, he was absolutely brilliant, and I think my favourite memory over that time. Had a couple of really nice visits to Ewood Park. They were really fun, but yeah, it was lifting that trophy and seeing Uncle Jack lift that trophy, and you're going that you don't often get fairy tale endings. And for us, for the town that I come from, to have one is incredible.
Yeah, that's what it's all about, isn't it? That's what it's all about. That is, and without sounding cliche, that's why football used to be mint. Like that story doesn't happen anymore now. If it does in the future, fine, we'll change our stance. But at the minute, you're not going to see that again.
No.
Right, Tez, appreciate that little trip down memory lane with your pal. If people want to find more of your work, more of you, where can people find you?
Very easy to find at Tez Ilyas everywhere. TEZILYAS. I will be on tour in September 2026. So if you sign up to my mailing list at tezilyas.com, you'll be able to find out where tickets are near you, and I'll play every big town city across this beautiful island.
Perfect, lovely. Right, go and get yourselves tickets to go and see Tez. Tez, always a pleasure chatting to you, my friend, and
You too, Rob.
really happy to share that memory with you. So let's get you back, talk more Blackburn Rovers in the future, and yeah, hope you all enjoyed that, everyone. Take care, speak to you all very soon. All the best. Bye now.